The planes are landing right now. As you watch this, another wave of travelers is queuing up at the JR Pass exchange windows at Tokyo Station. They have their itineraries mapped out. They have their hyper-fast pocket Wi-Fi routers activated. They are preparing to board the Shinkansen to chase the classic tourist route, Tokyo, Kyoto, Osaka, and Hiroshima. They believe that the rail lines of Japan are designed solely to ferry them between historic monuments and neon skyscrapers at 300 kilometers per hour. Nobody has told them about the lines that are quietly disappearing from the map, because there is an infrastructure grid in Japan that is suffocating under the weight of the country's demographic shift. It is a grid that East Japan Railway Company and West Japan Railway Company have been logging devastating financial losses on for 2 decades, and a grid where a single administrative decision can completely cut off a mountain community from the rest of the modern world. This is the next chapter of Neon and Moss. It is the story of Japan's rails, where hyperspeed engineering meets absolute structural isolation. To understand the country, you cannot just look at the bullet trains that make the evening news. You have to look at the tracks where the wheels only turn twice a day and where the platforms are slowly returning to the earth. Entry number 5, the Tokaido Shinkansen corridor. To understand the sheer power of the Neon network, you have to look at the Tokaido Shinkansen. Running between Tokyo and Osaka, it is the busiest high-speed rail line in the world. During peak hours, trains depart every few minutes. It operates with a precision that seems mathematically impossible. The average delay per train across the entire network is measured not in hours or minutes, but in seconds. It is a multi-billion-dollar economic engine that compresses a 300-mile journey into just 2.5 hours, allowing millions of business professionals and tourists to bypass the rugged mountain terrain of central Japan entirely. The Tokaido Shinkansen is the absolute peak of the Neon world, lucid, profitable, and hyper-efficient. But it is an outlier. It is the financial lifeline that funds the rest of a system that is rapidly fracturing behind the scenes. Entry number 4, the Chuo main line, outer rims. As you pull away from the high-speed corridors and enter the Chuo main line heading into the mountain valleys of Yamanashi and Nagano, the rhythm breaks. The multi-car commuter trains disappear, replaced by shorter, older models that wind through narrow mountain gaps. Here, the architecture of rail travel changes. Stations are no longer concrete palaces with digital gates. They are small, unmanned wooden structures tucked between cedar forests. This is the transition zone. The trains still arrive, but the intervals stretch from minutes to hours. The station platforms are no longer scrubbed clean by automated sanitation teams. Instead, small tufts of mountain grass and green moss begin to show themselves between the gravel ballast and the concrete edges of the platforms. It is the infrastructure of a nation that is still connected, but running out of the human capital required to maintain the gloss. Entry number 3, the Tadami line, Fukushima. If you travel further north into the isolated snow country of Fukushima and Niigata, you reach a line that has become a symbol of structural fragility, the Tadami line. The Tadami line runs through some of the most extraordinarily beautiful forested river gorges in northern Japan. To a tourist, it looks like a scenic dream. To the accountants at JR East, it is a structural crisis. In 2011, torrential rain and landslides completely obliterated multiple bridges along the line. In a normal country, a vital transport link is rebuilt immediately. On the Tadami line, because the surrounding villages had experienced a massive population collapse, it took over 11 years of political gridlock, regional funding debates, and local protests just to restore service to a line that runs at a massive financial loss. The trains now run again, but they are infrequent, mostly carrying elderly residents and specialized landscape photographers. It is a line surviving on life support, where the green of the deep valley forest is constantly pressing against the tracks, waiting for the next major storm to claim it entirely. Entry number 2, the Sanin main line, rural sections. On the western coast of Japan's main island, facing the Sea of Japan, sits the Sanin main line. It is technically the longest single railway line in Japan, built during an era when regional connectivity was the highest national priority. Today, large sections of it are an economic ghost landscape. In the rural stretches through Shimane and Tottori prefectures, the massive multi-track infrastructure built for 20th century industry sites rusting under the salty sea air. According to financial disclosures published by JR West, dozens of rural line segments across their network generate less than a few hundred yen for every several thousand yen it costs to keep them operational. The younger generations have left these coastal towns for the industrial hubs of Osaka and Tokyo. The people left behind are pension-aged residents who no longer commute. The stations here are completely unstaffed, the ticket windows are boarded up with plywood, and moss grows undisturbed over the disused side tracks where cargo trains used to idle. Entry number 1, the abandoned Geibi line segments. The number 1 location on this list represents the ultimate destination of rural contraction. Deep in the mountains of Hiroshima and Okayama prefectures lies the eastern section of the Geibi line. This is no longer a functioning piece of transit infrastructure, it is a geographic anomaly. On the most isolated segment between Bingo Ochiai and Higashi Saijo, the population density has dropped so low that the train runs only 3 times a day. The average number of passengers per day on this specific stretch has dropped down to single digits. It is a railway line where the drivers must operate at severely reduced speeds because the local government can no longer justify the millions of yen required to clear falling rocks, encroaching bamboo, and roots from the tracks. Here, the moss has won. The tracks are green lines cutting through the forest, the wooden ties are decomposing into the soil, and the rusted signs pointing travelers toward destinations that no longer have active economies stand as monuments to an era of expansion that Japan has permanently left behind. The beauty of Japan's rail network isn't just the fact that you can travel from Tokyo to Osaka in the blink of an eye. The reality is that the hyper-profitable bullet trains are the only reason the quiet, moss-covered mountain lines are still permitted to exist at all. One side pays the bills, the other side carries the history. This channel, Neon and Moss, is here to document both realities, from the driver's cabin of the fastest automated trains on Earth to the silent, overgrown platforms of stations that will likely close before the decade is out. If you want to understand the true infrastructure-driven reality of Japan, hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications, and come along for the journey. Let me know in the comments below, would you rather ride the high-speed Shinkansen through the cities, or take a single-car train into the Forgotten Mountains? Until next time, matane.